Welcome back, everybody, to the back nine coverage of the 2017 Hyzerflipadelphia Open. My name's Derek Scull with Gatekeeper Media, and I have Chris German beside me.
Hello, everyone.
And this is in partnership with Mr. Disc Golf and the Friends of Sedgley Woods, sponsored by Hyzerflip Disc Golf Apparel, made possible by Buck and Bear Knives.
All right, so here we have hole 10. This is all blue tees, back nine coverage for Sedgley Woods. Hole 10, this is just a straight shot, very short hole with just a dog leg to the right. Some people can throw a spike hyzer over this tree bundle here that you have to the left.
To the right?
To the right.
All right, we got Kevin up to start with that spike hyzer.
And he's in there.
And it's a little confusing. You see those squirrels running in the background, so you think that that's where it's landing, but it's closer to the circle.
So we have Jason here. Looks like he's lining up more for the gap as opposed to the spike hyzer route. You're going to need a nice Annie here for a righty.
And that floats in really nice.
Yeah.
Keeps him far, but he's just outside the circle.
Yeah, a little far, but I mean, with his type of caliber, he should be able to make a putt like that. And here's Dan with lined up for his forehand. Man, as a forehand player, being a lefty, I envy righty forehand players for this hole.
Yeah, look at that.
That's a textbook shot. That was perfect.
Parked. Happy tree there. That definitely helped him a lot.
Yeah, definitely. But he'll have a tap in for a bird there.
They're celebrating there a little bit in the back.
And here's Chris here. He had a pretty slow start in the front nine. We'll see if he can turn it around and get himself back into this tournament. See, it looks like he's going the spike hyzer route.
And just couldn't make it through.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, there's definitely some trees over there that will grab out and you definitely knock your disc down.
And we got Jay here. Looks like he was number 3 on this card, so for the back nine anyway.
Well, yeah, he had that bogey at the end of on hole 9, so it definitely made the gap between everyone much closer.
Oh, I'm sorry. He was the 5th.
Yeah, he was last
there.
So everyone's up by the pin. Chris is going to have to have an upshot here, and that was...
And he just couldn't get it to bounce over.
Yeah, but I mean, that's 5-10 feet, so it's a makeable putt for him. As Jason's going to try to line up for the birdie here.
Great bird.
Yeah, that was a beautiful putt outside the circle. And like I said earlier in the front nine, those are the putts you need to make if you want to win the tournament.
We got Kevin here gearing up. This shouldn't be any problem for him.
So Gleason, I really like his play style. I kind of, out of everyone here, he just grips and rips it.
It was very close to popping out.
It was very close. He just got the edge of that basket there. So Chris is going to come in here, and he's just going to tap in for a par. Unfortunately, this is probably going to set him back another stroke on the card here, as he saves a par.
We got Jay here. He's got to kind of battle this tree a tiny bit. Just something to consider.
Yeah, a little straddle putt, but I believe it cuts to my angle, so you'll see a better angle of how close he was behind the tree. There it is. So, beautiful putt. He's going to knock it in for the bird. And then Dan should come in here with that amazing forehand shot. He's going to come in here and clean up for a birdie as well.
Slow and steady.
That's all you need. So hole 10 is that's an aceable hole for sure. A lot of people have aced that in the past. As everyone gets a birdie here except for Chris, as Jay still has a 1-stroke lead on Jason, as that goes down the line, just 1 stroke separating. So tell us about hole 11.
Hole 11 is a pretty standard hole. It goes down the fairway for the 247 feet. Dog leg slightly to the left. Got a nice clearing though. So the place to be, honestly, far right if you're going to be off the fairway, or kind of right behind a line of trees. We got Kevin shooting, keeping it real low, gets past that tree, and it bounces right outside. It's right on circle's edge.
Yeah, unfortunate skip, but I mean, makeable putt. A couple trees there guarding you. You can definitely hit those trees based on the angle you go at. As Jason comes up here, and that's looking good. A little far to the right, but should be a makeable putt for him. Because that guy in the back kind of messed me up. I thought someone was going, but I think that was them teeing off on 12.
Yeah, like you said earlier in the front nine coverage, everything's very stacked in certain areas of this course.
So here comes Dan up for a shot, and that's looking good. A little low, a little short, but a little outside the circle, so he's going to have a little bit of a tester for a birdie there.
We got Jay Klein in the box.
Yeah, so that was his ritual, right? You were with him at the box, so you would know. But
Yeah, I would say pretty consistently he likes to step up to the tee pad and do the same motions here. You know, get you in the game. Everybody has their method there.
A nice shot. Funny enough is I've actually done that a couple times since I've seen him play, only because get the leaves off.
Yeah, after slipping once or twice, you kind of learn your lesson.
Yeah, for sure. And as Chris is here, he's going to try to have a nice drive here to try to land in a birdie. It's looking like it's cutting left a little early, and he smacks that tree right there.
Yeah, it probably would have been a little far left if it didn't hit that tree. So it actually put him in a better spot than some of the others.
Yeah, I would say it would probably be closer to where Jay's disc is. You can kind of see that blue disc over there.
That was a good run. It didn't have quite the juice it needed.
So this is a tester putt here. I mean, these are not easy putts. Things are starting to heat up, and whew.
Just misses. Does he hit the chains there?
I don't think so. I think he airballed that, unfortunately.
We got Jay. He's really gearing up here. He's in a little bit of the bush.
Yeah, and knowing how the end of the front nine coverage went, I know he's definitely probably starting to feel the heat, only being one stroke ahead when he had a 4-stroke lead.
Yeah, and having a shot like that does not do well for your confidence.
Yeah, so here's Jason trying to capitalize on the missed putt by Jay, and he sinks it.
Great bird.
I believe that's gonna put him tied if Jay makes his next par putt. It's funny, we have a Jay and a Jason. Ooh, that stinks. We have a Jay and a Jason fighting for first. So Kevin's just gonna tap that in. He's probably a little mad that he didn't get that birdie there.
Could have used it.
Yeah, because he's still in the running as well. He's only 2 strokes behind Jay here.
In the recording process, it was a little tricky here. I thought everybody was walking away. I was like, oh, what's going on? But
yeah, we had to let this one play out back in editing, only because Kevin actually went up and tapped that in out of order. So we had to let that play out. If he didn't tap that in, we would have had an easier cut. But it gives us time to talk, right?
Yeah, play a little catch up here. Great par save here.
Yep. So it looks like everyone's going to at least get a par here, a couple birdies. I remember editing this, I saw that, and I thought I didn't know who that was, to be honest, but...
yeah, that's Kevin's caddy.
I was like, wait, who are these people walking by? So it looks like Chris is going to get him for the par. So,
and I will say, Kevin's caddy he was very quiet.
Yeah, the whole time. So Jason's the lone birdie here. That's actually going to time up with Jay at -15 apiece. He's -7 for the round, so he's almost averaging a birdie a hole. So hole 12, tell me about this one. I know you love this one.
Yeah, that's my favorite. It's a pretty far hole, 309. It plays, oddly enough, a little further if you're not a consistent player. But straight ahead, down, slight to the left. But it narrows in the middle there.
Yeah, low ceiling, and it's very narrow. You can see those 2 trees there. You can see he ran into one of them. That's a tight gap to hit, especially, 150, almost 200 feet down the course.
We got Kevin here repping Hyzerflip.
His looks like his is going to start veering to the right there, and he's going to end up in those bushes. But, that's a makeable upshot. He can definitely get down there and save the par.
Yeah, for this hole, I tend to really play for par.
Yeah, birdieing on this hole is very special. If you're getting a birdie here, you're one of the few that are getting a birdie.
And there are some out there that play at this course consistently, so it's possible. And that's really where you want to be. It cut. It didn't flex back the way that he wanted it, but that's kind of the line you want.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's just kind of turning these over. If they just kind of straighten them out and let them flex back. If you get around that second tree on the flex, then you have a look for birdie. This one's a little high. He's lucky to hit that low ceiling there, and this is a prime example of it coming back on you. And you can see that was a monster drive down the fairway.
Yeah, very, very far past that middle tree there.
So Chris is lining up here. Let's see what he has. Still trying to play catch up. It's looking good, and
bad kick.
And
you can see it goes very far in there.
That is not good. You do not want to be over there. It is very deep over there. There's one little gap you might be able to hit, but other than that, you're hitting trees just like that.
And this day was just a really bad day filled with a lot of things like this with Chris. He was groundskeeping that day.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate. It was nice up, but it's just unfortunate. It took him 2 strokes to get out of there. As Jason's going to land a nice layup there, and that should be a makeable par putt.
We got Dan behind this tree here. That's going to prove to be a little bit of a challenge for him, and it looks like he's going backhand.
Yeah, I believe there's a little bit of a gap that way that you can just kind of make it through. I usually never make it over there, so I don't particularly know.
And he floats that right there under the basket.
So a nice upshot there, and it looks like Kevin's going to take the other way, but backhand. Funny enough, and that's another great upshot. So here's Jay for bird, knowing that if he can land this is a very big putt.
Can you imagine what's going through his head, especially being so close to hitting on target there?
Yeah, knowing that Jason is right there on you and anything could happen. I mean, he's definitely feeling the heat. It's almost like a NASCAR race, and you're going into the final lap, knowing the person's right behind you. I would think that he's going to start playing defensive, maybe a little safe, because
hoping that there are some slip-ups.
Yeah, I think he wants to see if Jason's going to make a mistake before he does, because they're pretty neck and neck at this point. So he's going to knock in his par.
You can see the tense feeling that Jay's feeling right now. And Kevin with the turbo putt.
Yeah, Kevin's having fun. I threw a turbo putt the first time after watching this, and gotta say that's a gift.
And I'm sorry to say that Chris got that bogey.
Yeah, so Chris is going to get a bogey. Everyone else is going to par out here. So Jay and Jason both tied at -15 total, with Kevin 2 strokes behind at -13. So hole 13, we actually had 2 aces in round 1 on this hole. This is probably the most aceable hole here. The footage doesn't do a distance. You don't really take the route that the camera's going. You're actually going to try to go up and over all these trees. So tell us about this hole.
Well, I mean, it's over a valley there, so you have to kind of up there. Depending on if you get a kick or not, that's a great shot. But it's tough to fight uphill if you land in there.
Yeah, I would say if you hit anything and you do not get across that gap, you're looking for a par, maybe even a bogey.
You wanna really aim your shot closer to the right and let it come back on you.
Yeah, like that was a good example of that. It's a little far, but he should be able to make that putt. It's definitely a long look. But yeah, I would say I've been trying to ace this hole for a very long time. This is one of the most aceable holes. So
Dan's with throwing a Sarek putter here. It's one of my favorites. I keep that in my bag all the time. Inches away.
Wow. Inches away. I mean, that could have been an ace. And here goes Jay doing his routine. And let's see what he has.
Lining up.
And that looks pretty good. A little far to the right.
There, but he almost hits.
Oh, man. He almost hit that guy. That was pretty funny. Maybe I should have yelled 4 on that one. But
no harm, no foul.
Yeah, unfortunately he hit that tree, so he's going to have a really long look for the bird.
Chris is taking the same backhand approach as the rest of the card.
And his was a little more like Kevin's. It looked like it kind of just faded out and had a harder turn, a little more overstable. It just kind of went a little far to the left.
Yeah, the thing about this is if you put a little too much pepper on it, you can definitely overshoot and find yourself in a tougher spot.
And that's
dunked right off.
Yeah, that's going to be a putt that's probably going to haunt Jay right there.
2 in a row.
Yeah, literally same thing. Just a little low for these guys.
Let's see, what does Chris do here?
And
in.
A little high, makes it in. So
it was a stroke he definitely wanted back.
Yeah, I mean, coming off hole 12 and bogeying, just getting a par here, seeing the other guys miss, just a confidence booster, I would say.
Yeah, him being even on the round so far, that definitely helps some confidence there.
And Dan's trying to fight back, knowing that Kevin just kind of lost a stroke here. That's actually going to tie them back up, I believe. But Dan's fighting back. He's not out of this. I would say these 4 guys are all capable of winning this down the home stretch.
If you take a look in the background, you got Dave Prue over there. He's one of the friends of Sedgley Woods. He's a really great guy. He does a lot of their social media things. and he was able to hang out with us while we were following the card.
So that actually puts Jason up. He birdied that, and Jay got a par there, so he's 1 stroke ahead. He's -8 for the round with a 1-stroke lead on Jay.
So for this, we have a little bit of a mismatch here. This is the view from the yellow tee, but we were shooting from blue tee. So the vantage point is going to be a little different, but you'll still get the sense of what this hole looks like.
Yeah, I would say it's only 5 feet to the left. I mean, it's just a little easier.
Upward a little bit more.
Yeah, it's just a little easier of a gap from blue. You can kind of see that there. It's a little more of an opening.
So that's the typical lane that you would want to shoot. Really have it hold that gap there.
And that was a great shot. This is one of the first holes I birdied on this course, so I really like this hole. It's a good hole. I remember back in the beginning of the spring, beginning of the season, there was actually more shrubs and more trees. They actually did some landscaping on this one and cut it down.
And Dan really parks it with that Sarek.
And that's the second shot with that putter that he almost aced the basket. I mean, he's inches away from really running away with this thing.
To be honest, that's a testament to that disc. It really is. It's consistent.
It's a little far to the left for Chris here. But
he hits that tree, but that tree puts him in a good spot.
Wow. So he parked that. That was a very fortunate kick for him. Here goes Gleason. Let's see if he let's go for the Annie route. And his takes an unfortunate kick, and that's going to push him out to the right side of the fairway there. So he's going to have a very tough shot from there, knowing that there's a lot of trees and shrubs blocking him in the basket. So Jay is going to try to come back after losing that stroke on Jason. Now he's a stroke behind.
You can kind of see that he really focused on that form, and that flick on release puts him right there.
Yeah, I would say that's what he needs.
And if you take a look, watch real close here, and so unfortunate. I know we talked about discs not bouncing out, but it can happen. And
yeah, that was a very unfortunate one. I mean, that was an amazing shot.
Yeah.
Here goes Chris just kind of tapping in real quick. He ran up and tapped in again. I made sure to get that this time. And same with Kevin. He's going to tap that in, and he should be upset after that one. I mean, that's a shot that you don't normally get. So Jason's here. He shot a little far. He almost hit me on that last drive.
You can see he's really thinking about this shot, and it pays off.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting the crunch time now, so I would say him and Jay are definitely neck and neck. Though you could definitely tell their focus is starting to ramp up.
You'll take a look. He looks like Dan had, obviously the Sarek is a putter, but he switches up and uses a different disc for this. He's probably got a very specific regimen for inside versus outside.
I mean, you do the same thing as well with that putter as well.
That's my upshot. For
sure.
You
don't normally putt with that disc.
No, that's more of like a 40 foot and plus.
So everyone there is going to get a birdie except for Kevin, so that's actually going to put Dan up a stroke on Kevin. Jason's still 1 stroke ahead of Jay, and Dan is just 2 strokes back from the two of them battling for first.
So hole 15 is 186. So you get this little hump in the middle there, and then you see as we crest over in this shot, nice little not valley, but a little clearing there. A little pile to the left that you can kind of get caught up in, but you want to stay to the left of this lane to have like a successful second shot.
Oh, most definitely. If you get to the right, it's very hard to make a shot from over there because
it's quite guarded.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it's heavily wooded. It's just the way the trees are kind of placed and where they're at. You don't have a good looking shot, and that was just amazing.
Yeah, you don't want any better of a shot other than an ace.
Yeah, I mean, you could just tell Jason he's focused and he can smell victory because that was a textbook shot.
Get that little skip, come on.
And that got down farther than
it leaves him. It leaves him far, but right in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, I mean, I would rather be in the fairway than any other part.
Absolutely.
on this hole. So, especially left. I mean, on the left there's a lot of guarding trees. Right's even worse, and it looks like his
cutting right.
Yeah, his is going right, so he's gonna have a tough time over there.
He managed to get through it enough to where he's got a clearing, but that's still something that is in your head.
Yeah, I would say if he was a little shorter, a little closer to kind of where that crate is, then you're in a very bad spot from there. So he should be able to at least peep out from there.
We got Jay coming, and it just did not want to go for him.
Yeah, but I mean, a great kick, and he's on the fairway. So I mean, he has a long look.
Yeah, I think you can hear him kind of.
Yeah, he was
expressing his disappointment.
He was
there.
very upset with that one. You could just tell that the game's starting to boil down.
That just did not want to come over for Kevin either.
Yeah, so Kevin's a little farther in than Chris is, so you can tell that he's going to have a harder shot than Chris, only because there's a couple more guardian trees for him. And that was a good run, just a little low.
Yeah, but you don't want to overshoot when you're that. Better to play it safe.
Where I think here Jay needs to, knowing that Jason's up there, he needs to go for this. And
just short.
Just a little short.
We got Chris here on the wood's edge. Oh, and just shy.
Yeah, and it looks like he definitely ran that. He wasn't laying that up.
Oh. That's always so frustrating.
And I would say that's 3 holes in a row where Kevin had just smacked the bottom of the basket.
Well, if you notice here, you don't have that top rim on these baskets, so because of those notches, it can kick in a funny angle.
Stan's gonna knock in a par. Jay's also gonna knock in a par here. So
there's that camaraderie again. I love it.
Yep, I mean, these two guys are battling out, and they're still there having a good time, cheering each other on. And I would say Jay was one of the most vocal about it, and it was really nice to see him yell for the other players to get aces and stuff. So Jason's actually going to gain another stroke on Jay here, putting him at -18 for the entire tournament.
Hole 16 is a really fun hole. If you'll take a look when we get over to the players on the tee box, you'll kind of see that there's like 2 lanes that you can play. You have like a little split right in this grouping of trees. And it looks like Jason wants to take that right side route and let it hyzer right over. Where are we at here? Okay.
Yeah, I kind of lost that one. It's really
funny
hard.
color.
Yeah, that disc was really hard to follow on the camera. But he smacks a tree, and I find it in the end.
Dan is
Dan's coming up.
And he hits a tree.
And that's a tree I've hit in the past before.
Many people have. There's a lot of marks on it.
Yeah, I would say that tree is that's a pain tree. A lot of people hit that tree because most people go that route that Derek's talking about here, that right route to go for that steady hyzer. As we're going to see Chris go for the same route.
And Chris is keeping it really low. That is ideal. It's more manageable this way.
Yeah, I mean, that right there it's a long look, but I mean, that's a birdie look. So he made it through. As the shot here, it's funny because I don't think Jay meant to do that. You can hear him vocally kind of say, like talking to himself, and everyone's like, "Oh, that was great, man! You made it through." So I think that was just a mishap on his part, but it actually turned out to be good for him. So disc golf gods were on his side there.
Absolutely. The spirits of Sedgley Woods.
Yeah. And Gleason here, it's looking like he's going to go the other route that we were talking about, and that's just a zinger.
Yeah, a lot of power on that.
I mean, you are shooting downhill here, and it's not too long of a hole. It's only 230, so I mean, you can definitely overshoot this, and that's exactly what he did.
We were really lucky. There was not a lot of wind most of the day.
No, for being as cold as it was.
Look how clean that sidearm was.
A little bit unfortunate skip there. It skipped a little farther than he wanted, but I mean, it's a makeable putt for someone at his caliber.
So you're down in the thick of it with him, huh?
Yeah, I came down here with Gleason. Just knew that he was just going to pitch out real quick, and that was a great up.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be able to save par there.
Extremely manageable. Got that sun peeping over that tree line there.
As Jason's going for his birdie shot.
And unfortunate skip.
I think it was just too heavy on the hyzer there. If he just kind of attacked it straight on, I think he would have had a better outcome.
Or a little bit of a higher angle.
Yeah.
We got Jay with that birdie. He's feeling really good about that one.
Yeah, it's a big bird, knowing that he was only 2 strokes behind. This is going to put him just 1 stroke behind Jay going into the final 2 holes. Yeah, as Chris is still playing catch-up, but I would say he's definitely picked it up. He was only even a little farther back. I mean, he's definitely gained a couple strokes since then.
We also have to remember that everybody is playing at a different category as well. So I believe Chris is in the AM category on this, while others are in open, etc.
I believe so. As Dan's going for his par here. See if he can land this.
That looked dangerous.
Yeah, that was a close one. You could see to the right there, people were waiting at a different tee. They were having a good time watching the lead card. As Jason's going to knock in his par, and you could tell him smacking it at the end. He was a little upset about that one. But that puts him just one stroke ahead of Jay. It's kind of a two-man show here coming down to the end.
Absolutely. Chris, I want to hear your opinions on this hole here.
This is probably my favorite hole, primarily as a forehand lefty. It's kind of dog legs to the left a little bit there. I've been trying to ace this hole since I've started, and this has been the closest hole to me acing. And I think talking to people from the club, this is...
What a great shot.
This is one of the most aceable holes, as well as 3 and 13. So here comes Jay, knowing that he has to put a really good shot in here and hope that Jason kind of has a slip up on these last 2 holes. I don't think he wanted to do that there.
No, but he's in the circle, and the thing is that you can be a little more creative with the lines here because there's no OB. So you don't have to worry about really cresting over there. So if you get up there, even if you're in that little cluster of wooded area, it's playable.
Yeah, because I know there are markers over there for OB for other tournaments, such as like the Philly Open and things of that sort. That was a great.
I think they might even do out of bounds regulations for their tags and things like that.
I think they do. And this is looking.
We want that to flex
good.
back. And you know what? It lands flat, puts him in there in the circle.
Great shot. And it's great because you can hear Jay in the background just cheering for all these guys. I mean, even they're all competitors, but he wants to see someone ace this hole, and that was really nice to see. But that's a putt that he needs back. That putt right there probably just could have costed him everything, and that's very unfortunate for him.
Great putt by Gleason.
Yeah, Gleason, he's putting together a really good showing today. I would say overall from first round and second round.
Yeah, he catches a couple bad breaks and really doesn't let that rattle him.
No,
and it comes right back.
Keeps his composure, and you can just tell he's having a good time. As Jay's here knocking in the bird, and that's going to put him 2 strokes ahead of Jay here. You saw that disc flying in the back.
Yeah. Like, again, a lot of these intersect with one another, and not necessarily a bad thing, but can do something for your focus.
Yeah, I mean, with this type of course, I mean, this is one of the oldest courses in the country, made back in the 70s, 1977 was when everything was formed, and you could just tell that this 18-hole course here is a little older than newer courses of today.
So hole 18 is a very straightforward shot. You got a pretty wide lane. You want to just keep it low and let it just fade right in near the basket. All those wood. Now, this is also one where it can be nerve-wracking because the seating area is here, usually pretty full. So you have an audience.
Yeah, everyone was out playing, so. But pretty straightforward, pretty open fairway. I mean, if you have the power, you get right down there, you park it.
And you already see that somebody had gotten CTP right under the basket in round 1, and that would be Mike Healy, right? Local guy here.
Yeah, I believe Mike Healy actually got that.
Yeah, so he's one of the ambassadors for disc golf boxes.
So we're tailing out here, and that's looking like a park, and that's looking like it's it for Jason there. That's the type of drive he needed.
Keeping consistent. I couldn't tell. Was that that was the Sarek again?
Yeah.
So you can tell that Dan really knows that disc really well.
Yeah, no effort throwing it 240 feet putter. So you can definitely tell that he's comfortable with primarily forehand and putter play.
Well, and in a round that you're seeing him flick a lot of shots, like you can see the versatility of that player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was very impressed with Dan.
Right,
As
we got
Gleason,
Jay.
Gleason was a little far to the right, but he's up there. I mean, everyone's making it down the whole course.
Yeah, I think you hear Chris. You hear Chris a lot in the background, like talking about like where it may have landed, because this is his home course. So he's an ideal person to have with you on a card, just to be able to monitor what you want to shoot.
Yeah, he knows this course in and out, and he would definitely be a really good resource to have if you ever wanted to come out and play here. So everyone's in. I mean, the way it's looking, everyone has a chance to make birdie here. This Gleason has a pretty long putt, but
And unfortunately, he whiffs it a little, puts him a little further away than what he wanted.
yeah, unfortunately. So Dan's coming in. He wants to finish out strong, and he's going to. With it.
Almost came up short.
It was a great birdie, and that's how you want to finish. I mean, when I'm here and no one's around, if I don't shoot good on this final hole, I'll go back and shoot it again. Problem is you can't do that in tournaments, but everyone's having a good time. You can tell. Oh,
You heard the chains clashing in the back.
it's chains from hole 9.
Well, he needs it, and unfortunately, banging chains and not dropping in.
Yeah, he can't land it. I mean, he's been the most unlucky out of everyone, I would say, in this back 9 coverage here. He's had a couple spit out. He's hit the basket a couple times. It looks like Jason's going to go here to try to steal up this win, and he does. So congrats.
Look at that smile on his face.
Yeah. So congrats to Jason there. He really came through. I think on the back 9, he birdied 7 out of the 9 holes. I mean, he came
Impressive.
out, yeah, he came out to play in this back 9, and he really showed up. Big shout out to Chris here, and then Jay also coming in with a birdie.
I want everybody to take notice here. He's Kevin being a little cautious there.
Yeah, he's having a good time.
Everybody's just shaking hands. Good game, good game.
Good game. So to conclude, Jason Tiligadas here, he's going to come home with the win. Negative 20 total. 2 strokes ahead of Jay Klein at negative 18. Dan was negative 16. Kevin was negative 13. And Chris actually came back, finished negative 11. So here's our total scores for the entire open event. You see coming in 4th place, Bradley Good, who was on the chase card, actually squeezed ahead of Kevin there at the end.
I really just want to say thanks for watching here. This is Gatekeeper Media presents the 2017 Hyzerflipadelphia Open.
Made possible by Mr. Disc Golf, PDGA, and the Friends of Sedgley Woods. Sponsored by Buck and Bear Knives and Arsenal Disc. We want to give a big shout out to everyone from Sedgley Woods and all of our sponsors here, and we look forward to seeing you at our next coverage.
Take care, everybody.